Hello, my name's Glenn Bowden. I'm a singer-songwriter from Birmingham in the UK. In this one, I'm going to be telling you how you can make a music video on the cheap. Also, a quick look at my new toy, which is the DJI OSMO Mobile. Let's do this. So in February 2016, it was my 30th birthday. I decided I was going to release a single and just give it away. But I thought I'd do a video to promote it as well. And I thought, how can I make a video without spending any money whatsoever? So I came up with this method using a point and shoot that I had the previous Christmas. And I didn't know anything about selfie sticks or anything like that, so I'll show you the crazy contraption that I made to get it away from my face. So this is the contraption that I made for my very first self-made video. It's not even a tripod, it's the stand for a telescope. It just so happens to have a tripod screw fitting on the top, so I thought that would be perfect to use. But then I was trying to just carry it round, holding it in my hand like this, and I realised it's still a bit too close to my face. So using good old musician's friend gaffer tape and a drumstick, I accidentally made a sort of semi-stabilised selfie stick. These are the sort of shots that I got with that. This is a clip from my first video. Now the only problem with that rig for me was it took a lot of time to get stable shots, because that point and shoot camera doesn't have image stabilization. So that was the only thing that I had major issues with when shooting that video. Now I'm going to talk about the best camera that you've probably got on you right now, which is your smartphone. The cameras are getting better and better on these, so why not use it? The only thing you're going to need to do is get a selfie stick, which again will get it out of your face. This is a really cheap one. Pop it on like that, and this sort of rig would work really well. Again, unless you've got the new iPhone 7, there's no built-in stabilization on most phones, so you have to watch your movements, keep it fluid. So here's a quick example of me using a smartphone to shoot some video with. So I'll try and keep this as stable as possible, just to show you what sort of results you can get. The great thing about this is you can move the camera like this and get some great shots. But again, you've got to watch the angle. So the great thing about this, because it's so far out, you get a lot of the background information, and you can also do some pretty cool sweeping movements like this. They always look good. You just got to try and make it not look too much like you're in control of the camera. Another one that works quite well is just dead center. There we go. Another piece of equipment that can come in really handy is a action camera, be it a GoPro, a Sony action camera, or one of these little sort of fake GoPros, which is what I use. This one is the GitUp Git 2. This one is my favourite because it has image stabilisation, so if you pop this onto a selfie stick, the shakes that you give it at the end of the pole will be reduced. How it does that is it crops slightly into the picture, so you can it crops into the picture and uses the difference between that to compensate for your movements. Another piece of equipment to go with this would be a good grip. Now this one here is the most handy thing in the world. Just pop it inside there, clip that. The great thing about this grip, it gets it slightly away from your hand, and the thing about these cameras is the field of view is so wide if you put the camera right here, you still look quite far away. But the most useful thing about this grip, which is by SP Gadgets, it's also a tripod. So the great thing about this is you can set the camera down somewhere like that, and then do some setup shots. So like walking past the camera, stuff like this. Stuff like that mixed in with you miming in the video works really well to set the scene, tell a story. Another thing that can make your videos stand out and look different, and also add some mood, set the scene, is time lapses. Now a lot of cameras do this. You can get apps for Android that do it. iPhone already has it built into the camera and they look amazing. Also slow motion is another thing that the iPhone does pretty well. There are obviously camera apps that do this for Android, but time-lapse can make a huge difference. I use them all the time. OSMO Mobile does the moving time-lapses, which look like this. But you can also achieve that effect using an egg timer with a mount on top for like an action camera, because most action cameras do time lapses. It's just another storytelling element that will make your videos look awesome. I'm going to talk now about playback. So if you're out and about running and gunning, shooting your video, you're not going to want to be bringing out a big speaker system with you unless it's a bigger production. But you're going to need something small, and the most ideal thing that I found is one of these little Bluetooth smartphone speaker things. It's loud enough so when you're out and about it cuts through and into the video, because sometimes hearing it on the video is easier to sync up with your audio. But this one cost me £15 from Lidl, believe it or not, and this never let me down. Now one of the clashes here is if you're filming with your smartphone, you might not be able to use the Bluetooth speaker. So you'll notice in my new video I've got a backpack on. That's because in my backpack I've got my iPad, which is playing back this music through here. If you have another device like an MP3 player or something like that you can link up to this, that will make shooting on your phone a bit easier. So for people looking to spend a bit of money, probably the best thing to complement your phone for shooting a video like this would be the OSMO Mobile. Now this is a 3-axis stabilizer, but the greatest function about it is it does face tracking. So you select your face on the camera, and when you move around it follows you, a bit like this. For example, so now that should be tracking my face. Now this is coming really handy for doing some more of those setting the scene shots, or maybe, you know, walking, singing at the same time, walking around the camera like that. So that's pretty much the reason I bought this. So here's a clip of me using it in my new video.
It took a while to lose it all and rock the corner of indifference. Standing tall together all, and maybe we will stand a chance. One small chance.
And the face tracking mode that I used for my new video was with the front facing camera. Now it's not as good a quality, but it's a lot easier to use when you're on your own out there filming. So I'll show you a quick example of me using it right now. So this is basically how I shot my new video. Just walking with face track on. And you can do some pretty cool sort of slow sweeps, and it keeps them as steady as it can. Just like that. Now the one thing you will need for this mode is a good tripod. They do their own tripod, but it's specifically for the Osmo, so I don't think it'd be very versatile for using it for other things like DSLRs and stuff like that. So I bought this tripod here, which is made by Siru. This was recommended by a vlogger called John Sign, who swears by this. Collapsible, and it folds right down, little tiny grip, and it also extends right out, so you can use these tripod legs, and that's the mode I pretty much use for my video. Keep it as far away from your face as possible. And the great thing about it as well is you can stand it up as a tripod. So if you're thinking about going out and shooting a music video on the cheap, I hope this has helped you out. Please give us a subscribe, and you can check out my new video, which will be here. Still haven't finished it yet, so it's not there yet, but it will be eventually. And you can watch the last video that I made here, and you can subscribe here on my head. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.